Ethan, the crown prince of N City's elite circle, had another fight with his white moonlight Sophia. On the most intense day of their argument, Ethan publicly declared in front of everyone. He said he would find a girl more obedient and sweet than Sophia. The next day, Ethan approached me. "Want to date? I'll give you 100,000 a month." So I stayed by Ethan's side as his obedient girlfriend. Everyone was waiting to see how long this act of defiance would last. I was waiting too. But 3 months passed, then half a year, and Ethan still hadn't broken up with me. Until our anniversary, when Sophia covered the entire city with roses to publicly declare her love. Ethan proposed we break up. I agreed obediently, then immediately flew overseas for scientific research. 3 months later, after successful research, I returned home that night. Ethan cornered me at the airport. "You really left just like that?" Disappeared for 3 months without a word. I smiled. I've always been the most obedient. Since we agreed to break up, then I would never look back.
Welcome to listen to my full sweet love series novel. I'm the blogger and I'm Twilight's novel. Now let's start the main story.
When Sophia pushed open the private room door, I wasn't surprised. We'd seen each other frequently since she returned from abroad months ago. "Ethan, haven't you played enough?" Today Sophia clearly came with ill intentions. She flipped her wavy hair, sitting directly across from us, her scrutinizing gaze sweeping over me with mockery. "Dating a poor girl like this, is it really that fun and fresh?" The arm around my waist tightened slightly as Ethan's lazy voice came through. "Play? My Chloe is gentle and understanding, utterly lovable. Not like some people who make endless trouble. Truly disgusting." Sophia's expression turned ugly. The atmosphere grew tense. Finally their friends intervened to smooth things over. Ethan didn't touch his glass, just looked at me with slightly raised eyebrows. Belatedly understanding, I clung to his arm and whispered coquettishly, "Ethan, don't drink anymore. I don't like it when you drink too much." "Chloe, Ethan drinks the most among us. What he's had so far is nothing." "Okay." At this single word, Sophia's expression became even more spectacular. Ethan smirked, his voice low. "Sorry guys, my Chloe doesn't want me drinking too much. I'm done for tonight. You all have fun." Amidst everyone's astonished gazes, Ethan took me home. The moment we entered, a kiss heavy with alcohol pressed down. As his lips and tongue tangled with mine, Ethan murmured indistinctly, "Chloe, you're so well behaved." I was Ethan's most obedient girlfriend. Initially, this was precisely why he chose me. Back then, Ethan had just had his biggest fight with Sophia. This pair of childhood sweethearts had been arguing constantly since high school. Occasionally passing their classroom, I'd hear plenty of gossip. Then one day in college, I heard through the grapevine they'd finally confessed and gotten together. But the good times didn't last. Sophia had been spoiled since childhood. Her temper was enormous. Frequent fights became routine. Ethan's initial patience and gentleness eventually wore thin. When he discovered Sophia planned to secretly meet a foreign male internet friend, he finally snapped. Later his friends told me that night, the two nearly destroyed the bar. At his angriest, Ethan issued an ultimatum. "Sophia, keep making trouble if you want, but we're done. Plenty of sweet, obedient girls would love to be with me." The next day, on my way to the lab, Ethan stopped me. "Chloe, right?" He looked at me, his expression still tinged with defiance. "Want to date? I'll give you 100,000 a month." I froze, staring blankly at Ethan. Ethan and I weren't acquainted. Even after attending the same high school and college, our interactions totaled just one incident. Plus, my school reputation wasn't great. In high school I collected trash. In college all my free time went to odd jobs. People called me poor. Some even scorned my trash collecting past, covering their noses in shared classes while gossiping. I was soft-spoken and unassertive. Called obedient and understanding, but fundamentally, prolonged poverty had stripped away many things. "What?" I asked uncertainly. Ethan frowned slightly. "Date me, name your price." Actually I'd heard clearly. 100,000 a month to buy my worthless affection. I didn't hesitate, even knowing this might just be rich kids' cruel joke. I agreed without looking back. The terror of poverty far outweighed everything else. I'd prepared to be Ethan's plaything. Even his friends thought the same. They waited for Ethan's whim to pass so he'd dump me. But a month passed, then 3, then over half a year. I remained by Ethan's side. "Breathe, Chloe." His lazy voice sounded in my ear. Warm hands slid down to grip my waist as Ethan frowned slightly. "Another 9.99 yuan special?" "No." My voice caught slightly, trembling. "This was a gift from you." During my time with Ethan, all my clothes earned one descriptor from the young master: cheap. He couldn't comprehend clothing that cost 9.99 yuan including shipping. The young master swimming in wealth couldn't fathom ordinary hardships. "TCH. Ethan sighed before kissing my ear. "This doesn't suit you, don't wear it again." "Okay." I understood Ethan's meaning. Even nice clothes looked cheap on me. I felt exhausted. I'd earned enough from Ethan. I never planned to rely on him forever. Now employed, my experiments would only increase, leaving no time for acting with Ethan like in college. So I proposed moving back to the dorm. Ethan looked surprised, displeased. Reason? I couldn't say I didn't want to be part of his drama with Sophia anymore. Too many experiments. I'm overwhelmed. Ethan didn't press further, tacitly agreeing. I was genuinely busy, practically living in the lab. Until Ethan's call reminded me. His birthday was approaching. "You forgot." His voice sounded tight. I dared not admit it, quickly covering. "No, just finishing up. I'll be there soon." When I nearly collapsed, Alex steadied me. "You okay?" "Fine, thanks." "Chloe." An angry shout interrupted us. Ethan forcibly dragged me into his car. The locked door enclosed us as he glared coldly. "No wonder you didn't want to live together. Found someone new?" "No." I shook my head, explaining softly. "I haven't eaten well lately, just low blood sugar." Alex was just helping. "Really?" Ethan still looked furious. I didn't understand his anger. He didn't love me, so if I moved on, shouldn't he be happy to break up? Unless his drama with Sophia wasn't over yet, and I couldn't exit early. Understanding his issue, I continued. "Really, Ethan, don't be mad. There's nothing between Alex and me." Ethan's expression softened slightly, but he still bit my neck angrily. The mark showed through my foundation. By the party, Ethan had dressed me up lavishly. Many attended. Sophia, of course. "Wow, Ethan, Chloe looks amazing tonight." "Lucky man." His friend lavished praise. Clearly in better spirits, Ethan hugged my waist and smirked. "My Chloe is naturally the most beautiful." Not true. Just earlier he'd frowned while selecting evening gowns, finally picking one that somewhat suited me. I stayed silent, smiling obediently by Ethan's side. Soon Sophia couldn't take it. Striding over in heels, she imperiously presented a gift box. "Ethan, your birthday gift. I picked it carefully. Not like some people's trash." Actually, Sophia was wrong. I hadn't even brought trash. I'd forgotten entirely. But Ethan didn't care about gifts from me. "Set it there." Ethan barely glanced up. Sophia grew even angrier. "Do you even know her past? High school had a girl collecting trash like a stinky beggar. Know who?" I trembled slightly. My family's poverty wasn't my fault. My parents died in middle school, leaving just my elderly grandma. For a high schooler without income, collecting recyclables was my only option. I'd never felt ashamed, yet they constantly humiliated me for it. "It's your precious Chloe," Sophia shrieked. "You'd stoop to dating trash to spite me?" I stayed silent, watching Ethan. I didn't know what I hoped for. Maybe some small defense of my dignity. Like that single high school encounter. Blood-stained pants, me pressed awkwardly against a wall as classmates pointed and laughed. Too poor for pads? Alexander dashed toward an Ultraman figurine displayed prominently. Following apologetically. "Forgive me, Mr. Windsor. I didn't realize you disliked purely decorative items. I'll list it on eBay immediately." I reached to remove it, but Alexander snatched it up first, cradling it reverently. "What nonsense! All show and no substance? This is Taro." "Yes, Mr. Windsor." My lips twitched upward slightly. Time to reel him in. "Oh, regarding those account details you forgot to provide today. Given your busy schedule." Alexander's gaze turned icy instantly. "So that's this display's purpose? Mr. Windsor, if I wanted your money, I wouldn't resort to theatrics. You've forgotten, marital property is jointly owned legally. Observing his discomfort, I smiled. Are you hungry? Would you prefer to shower or dine first? Alexander glanced at my face, then lower, lingering on my calves before saying disdainfully, Don't fantasize. I've no interest in consuming you. Me, I asked if you want dinner or to shower first. Alexander coughed twice. Shower first. I pulled out a dining chair. Dine first then. Bathing on an empty stomach risks fainting. Alexander sat angrily. Then why ask? Mr. Windsor dislikes consultation, preferring to follow my lead? I smiled slightly. That's fine too, saves effort. He frowned, preparing to retort, but I continued smoothly. Activating warm lighting, I served oatmeal with walnut yogurt and fruit. You likely drank heavily tonight. Liver supplements would help. Alexander wiped his hands fastidiously with a provided towel before tossing it aside. His piercing gaze fixed on me. Don't imagine you can manipulate me. Clasping hands prayerfully. Regardless of your feelings toward me, I hope you'll prioritize health and continue earning. Our family's asset growth currently relies solely on your efforts. I dread imagining your collapse mid-success, leaving me a youthful heiress. At this thought, my eyes brightened. Straightening, I met Alexander's gaze with a playful smile. Alexander's hand trembled, clattering his spoon. He glared. I've already drafted a will. You'll inherit nothing. Abandon such hopes. I sighed disappointedly. Becoming a wealthy young widow wouldn't occur imminently. Post-snack, I escorted Alexander upstairs, opening the bathroom door to reveal scented candles and rose petals. Chamomile tea awaited by the tub. Alexander leaned against the doorframe, undoing shirt buttons. Must everything become so complicated? These candles attract prosperity. Alexander removed his tie, hesitating. I activated comedy recordings before closing the door. An hour later, Alexander emerged robed, toweling damp hair. His loosely tied robe revealed a broad, damp chest. I adjusted it instinctively, inhaling his fresh scent deeply. Alexander clutched the belt protectively. Woman, why remain in my quarters? Checking my watch with a warm smile. Mr. Windsor, I'm still on duty. Does trophy wifehood require overtime? I've always been an overachiever. Noticing his dripping hair. You're not even properly dried. Sit. Let me assist. Alexander grumbled. Don't fuss. I won't develop feelings for you, Harpy. Sleeping with wet hair causes colds and potential baldness. Don't believe TikTok nonsense. Dampness also risks kidney deficiency. Alexander immediately sat at the vanity, retrieving the dryer. Straight or curled? Alexander, do I need to open a tab for this? I ruffled his hair. Food, lodging, and image maintenance fall within the £300,000 base salary. No additional charges. Alexander stared blankly into the mirror where my curvaceous reflection appeared. I tugged his hair firmly, snapping his attention back. You'd best explain why my room contains a vanity. Who authorized your belongings here? Setting the dryer aside, I produced luxury skincare. Mr. Windsor, for someone of your wealth and looks, neglecting proper skincare constitutes criminal waste. Turning him toward the mirror. Be honest, with such features, don't you deserve proper grooming? I wasn't lying. Alexander was extraordinarily handsome, resembling young Leonardo DiCaprio. Where did you materialize from, insufferable woman? Despite complaints, Alexander permitted my ministrations. 5 minutes later, Alexander moved toward bed exhausted. With a dismissive wave. Clock out now. Halting him with a gesture, I spread a towel. Remove your robe. Alexander chuckled, crossing arms. I told you I won't touch you. Pouring rose oil into my palms. True, but the contract doesn't prohibit me touching you. You've been rotating your neck since arrival. I noticed stiffness while drying hair. Sleeping tense guarantees tomorrow's fatigue. Allow me to provide relaxing massage and lumbar care before bed. Alexander's eyes widened. Are you professionally trained? My hands worked his shoulders expertly. Alexander melted into the mattress, emitting strange noises. Mr. Windsor, you should schedule cervical and lumbar CT scans this week. Alexander, have I deteriorated to requiring scans? It would enable more targeted care. Alexander, can you interpret CT scans? Encircling his neck, smiling. Your third and fourth vertebrae are misaligned. I'll adjust them now. You practice osteopathy? Isn't that illegal without licensure? Swiftly straddling Alexander's waist, pressing his back while gripping his neck before he could react, I whispered, Mr. Windsor, reviewing your corporate assets today overwhelmed me. Such wealth could make one disregard criminal statutes. Alexander froze. Darling, let's discuss this rationally. I nibbled his ear. I just recalled incomplete records. I still lack your personal account details. There's a basement exhibition room with wall safe containing deeds, cards, and gold bars. The combinations on a cracked USB drive. I twisted his neck sharply. Alexander lay motionless. Chuckling, I stroked his hair. Relax. Open your eyes. Alexander cautiously opened one eye while restrained. Now turn your head side to side. Alexander, I'm too terrified to move. JPG. Draping the towel over my shoulder. Today's service concludes. Thank you for cooperating. Pleasant dreams. Departing Alexander's chamber, I proceeded directly downstairs. Passing through the living room, Alexander's phone rang. Caller ID, Victoria Blackwell, reputedly his true love. Her existence motivated our 2-year marital contract, enabling my financial gain. Answering, Mr. Windsor's residence. A timid feminine voice. Mr. Windsor? Might I visit tomorrow morning? There's urgent matter requiring discussion. Certainly. The caller gasped. Pardon me. Who is this? Why are you answering Mr. Windsor's phone? Maybe she'll find used ones in the trash. I froze, trapped until a basketball-carrying youth approached. His jacket covered my head as his lazy but warning voice rang out. Scram. Never seen a girl or got mothers at home. The crowd dispersed as Ethan left without looking. Go clean up. Keep the jacket. That tiny kindness, Ethan surely forgot, but I remembered. Now the humiliation returned as I clutched his sleeve. But Ethan just coldly said, Sophia, I'd rather date trash than reconcile with you. How pathetic. Trash. Ethan called me trash. No defense, no denial. Just laid bare our unbridgeable gap. The golden boy and the poor girl. Somehow Ethan was no longer the light I remembered. Or perhaps that light was always just my nostalgic filter. I couldn't keep acting. The crowd erupted. Only Sophia looked deathly pale. Right, last year she'd brought 8 male models to Ethan's birthday, infuriating him. Now he repaid her. After driving Sophia away, Ethan leaned close, whispering lazily, Chloe, where's my birthday gift? He gently touched my face. Then chaos erupted as something fell. Ethan! Sophia fainted. Ethan nearly jumped up. Squeezing my hand painfully, he finally growled, Send her to the hospital. The party ended awkwardly. Ethan drank silently until someone spoke. Sophia's condition seems serious. Maybe you should. Ethan stood abruptly. Releasing my hand, he justified, I organized this. If something happens, I'm responsible. I just smiled. Okay. After he left, I returned to the dorm. Slept soundly. Next morning, Alex asked worriedly, Will you join next month's overseas research? Of course. My answer was firm. This was a learning opportunity. No reason to refuse. Alex relaxed. It's several months. I worried you wouldn't go because of him. I shook my head. Never again. From now on, I'd move forward unwaveringly, to become my best self. Ethan called at 5 a.m. Chloe, where are you? At the dorm. I want your porridge. His voice sounded hoarse. I'm home waiting. I was annoyed. He could summon any porridge instantly. Why demand it at this hour? But I didn't want to anger my future capitalist. Arriving quickly, I found Ethan smoking tiredly. I obediently cooked. Emerging later, he beckoned me over. Pulled into his embrace, he asked, "Chloe, don't you have questions?" "Not really." But since he asked, "How's Sophia?" "Just that." Ethan stared strangely. I quickly added, "I brought a gift, a handmade rabbit. If you don't like it." "Chloe." Clearly angry, he snapped, "I spent the night with another woman. Aren't you mad?" "Should I be?" I had gotten upset once. When Sophia returned, Ethan similarly abandoned me on my birthday for her near-death, scraped knee. I'd complained tearfully about waiting soaked in rain. His response? I should be obedient. After that, we entered a strange Cold War. Ethan ignored or one-word replied to my messages. Eventually I stopped contacting him. Online advice said when men grow distant, breakup looms. I felt relieved. Finally. Would Ethan give severance? Most earlier money went to debts. Not much remained. Days later, wanting to retrieve clothes, I called Ethan. No answer all morning. By afternoon I took a taxi over. Exiting the elevator, I bumped into Ethan's friend. "Chloe, why are you here?" He looked panicked. Wasn't visiting my not-yet ex normal? He stammered incoherently. I unlocked the door. Wait. The reason for his panic became clear. A woman's coat lay discarded on the sofa, along with unfamiliar black lace. "It hurts." Sophia's voice came through Ethan's door. She emerged wearing his oversized shirt, cheeks flushed. Ethan followed, freezing at the sight of me. "You came. Today was a mistake." My tea cooled as Ethan watched silently. "Nothing else to say?" I nodded. "I called movers for my clothes. They'll arrive soon." "Are you blind?" Ethan growled. "See Sophia and me emerge together?" I called. "You didn't answer, so." Ethan shoved me onto the sofa. His minty kiss was rough. No tenderness, just anger. Nothing happened with Sophia. I drank too much. Not sure how she got here. But I swear nothing happened. I numbly realized. Ethan was explaining. Why explain? Explain letting his ex near despite having a girlfriend? Or explain his shirt on her? I see. My apathy further enraged him. "Chloe, do you love me?" I didn't answer. I had loved him, during illness when he stayed, or holidays when he gifted enviable surprises. I'd fantasized truly being together. But Ethan's disgust after street food poisoning, his disdain for my poor aura, his ambiguity with Sophia, all shattered illusions. Reminding me of our original deal. Mutual use only. Falling for elites wasn't for those fighting just to survive. Ethan called one weekend. "Take Wednesday off, our anniversary." Surprised, I asked. "Don't want to?" He said coldly. "Surely you're not too busy?" "I'll be there." Time for proper goodbyes. That morning, Alex acted strangely. Treating me to lunch, he urged me to move on. Confused, I pressed until he showed me photos. Sophia had publicly confessed to Ethan. Citywide taxis bore declarations. Expensive billboards displayed her love. Online, netizens cheered their reconciliation. "Chloe, you're young, you'll find better." I knew. I just wondered, should I still attend tonight? Ethan texted, "Need a ride?" I declined, "The subway's fine, I'll come after work." The restaurant was reserved entirely. Ethan sat by the window, expressionless. "Ethan, your gift." I offered it. He ignored it, tapping the table. A bank card lay there. 5 million. "Chloe, we're done." The amount stunned me. I knew Ethan was wealthy. But this generosity surprised me. Between citywide flowers, his subtle disdain, my year of submission, relief outweighed loss. I performed my final obedient act. "I understand. I won't disturb you again." The perfect exit. Yet Ethan looked furious. As I took the card, Sophia appeared. "See, Ethan? This lowlife only wanted money. Pathetic. Just 5 million and she leaves." Ethan looked terrible. Like Sophia at his birthday. He finally said, "Chloe, I'll give you one chance to reconsider." Again, enduring her insults while assuming my mercenary nature. I smiled firmly. "No need, Ethan. I keep my promises." Next day, I flew overseas with my team. Threw myself into research, Time blurred. Occasional phone notifications showed Ethan's messages, asking about misplaced items or reminding me to collect belongings. Annoyed, I finally replied, "Ethan, I owe you no explanations." He stopped briefly, until New Year's Eve. His overseas call came at noon. Silence then. "You're abroad?" "Yes." Ethan paused. "When you return, I'll pick you up." I reminded him. "We broke up." "Right." He continued obliviously. "Your skincare's running low. Want me to send new?" Hopeless. I hung up, blocking him everywhere. That afternoon, his friend called. "What happened?" "Ethan's been drinking non-stop. Now hospitalized with ulcers." Calmly I said, "We broke up." "Wait, because of Sophia?" "He rejected her." "He loves you." "Not my concern." Whether Ethan loved Sophia or not, being his tool had destroyed any affection. Our team returned before New Year's. At the airport, Ethan appeared. "Talk." He glared at Alex behind me. Not wanting collateral damage, I entered his car. Silence until I noticed our direction. "I need to return to the institute." The car braked sharply in an alley. In dim light, Ethan's jaw was taut. The rearview mirror's decoration had changed, to my knitted rabbit. Clearly treasured, sealed in plastic. Chloe, quite the achiever. Disappear for 3 months post-breakup. Work assignment. Ethan scoffed. "Hungry? Let's eat." His tone was familiar, as if nothing had changed. I reminded him. 3 months ago It's cold. How about hot pot? He spoke over me. Or barbecue, you love both. "Ethan, we broke up." "Right." Ethan said coolly, eyes softening. "Chloe, you were always obedient. This time, let's nullify the breakup." "No, Ethan." My refusal was firm. "I'm not your girlfriend. No more obedient acts." Dinner didn't happen. I returned to the institute, eating instant noodles. Ethan seemed not to comprehend. He appeared constantly. Gifts piled up, all rejected. 5 million sufficed for a nice apartment and comfortable life. Seeing me with Alex, he remained disdainful. "Chloe, I'm better. Why settle? Just apologize and reconcile. Let me court you now." Finally exasperated, I stabbed back. "Ethan, isn't begging beneath you? Or do you only want what you can't have?" Ethan paled. Before I left, he said, "I stopped loving Sophia long ago." Later actions were just pride, proving I'd moved on after her betrayal. That night she drank too much. I just checked on her. But she mocked me, said I'd found an unloving doll. "Chloe, I couldn't accept it. I demanded whether you cared, and your answer confirmed her taunt. Her confession I refused, but she said you didn't love me. The money was a test. Would you stay?" He lost. Utterly. Meaningless. "Ethan." I said, "You abandoned me for her, used me, your subconscious disdain remains. Must we end as bitterly as you and Sophia?" Ethan whitened further. Finally he rasped, "Chloe, I can change." Ethan did seem different. He frequented street food stalls now, previously scorned as poor people's fare, even landing himself hospitalized with gastritis. His friends begged me to visit. Reluctantly, I went. They swarmed me. "Chloe, Ethan's changed, no contact with Sophia, completely reformed." So what if backgrounds differ? Ethan's rich. Ethan chased them out. I placed a fruit basket by his bed. He leaned weakly against pillows, his sweater oddly unfitting. Noticing my gaze, Ethan said proudly, "1990. Great quality." I was speechless. Ethan rambled. "I've cut spending, only 5,000 this fortnight. Chloe, I'm learning frugality. Luxury goods are overrated. Your affordable products are better. Next sale, take me." "Ethan, stop." I interrupted. "This suffering is unnecessary. You needn't change for me." I never believed class divides could vanish overnight. Such things were fixed at birth until death. Necessary. Ethan's voice was soft. He reached for my hand but withdrew. "Chloe, if you can't join my world, I'll join yours. Just don't push me away." I'd known Ethan too long. Nearly 10 years since high school. He'd always been untouchable, capricious and proud. Even during worst fights with Sophia, young master Ethan never begged. Yet some things couldn't be obtained by pleading. Suddenly I heard Ethan's lazy voice again. Right. I'd rather date trash. Don't bother, Ethan. You said it yourself. I'm just trash. I told Ethan's friends not to contact me again. They hesitated, then shared a video. From my overseas stint, Ethan drunk on a curb, muttering my name. Chloe. Tell her to fetch me. Ethan, she's abroad. Long silence, then his eyes reddened. Chloe doesn't love me. What do I do? I think I love her. I watched expressionlessly. It's over. Whether my past affection or his later love, all over now. During Lunar New Year break, I returned to my rural hometown. Rumor said Sophia and Ethan fought bitterly, her overseas escapades with male models exposed. The Sue family's funds had dried up, facing acquisition. Unable to accept poverty, Sophia reportedly attached herself to a playboy. I'd heard of him during my time with Ethan. Sophia would suffer. New Year's Eve, I cooked a feast, setting 4 place settings. Outside, Ethan stood watching through my cracked window. I ignored him. Near midnight, preparing melon seeds, I noticed frost covering Ethan's shoulders, his lips blue with cold. Not wanting misfortune, I let him in. Handing him warm water, I urged him to leave. Instead, he smiled weakly. I just realized. You always came to me. Chloe, let me come to you now. I refused. As he lingered, I gave up, chatting idly. My year-end bonus was small. 800 yuan. I bought new clothes. No more 9.99 yuan specials. A 200 yuan sweater and pants. Very warm. The rest bought meat. My freezer's full. Supermarket sales got me nice shower gel. Previously, 2 washes could mask any odor, no more stench. I met the recycling auntie, so old now back bent. She always gave me extra change. Asked how I was. I said life's good now. Post-holiday research intensifies. My advisor warned of busy months ahead. Promised a Northwest trip after. Ethan, is it beautiful? Your photos looked amazing. Too expensive for me, but a work trip would be perfect. Ethan listened quietly, his gaze tender. Finally I said, Ethan, you never truly knew me. Once I might have wished for it, but no longer. I needn't debase myself as anyone's puppet to survive. My own hands will shape my life. This life to me is happiness. I'm not noble, but not shameful either. Collecting trash, enduring poverty. I stole from none. Such hardship shouldn't be weaponized. You were born privileged. Your world far grander than mine. Perhaps you've come to love me, but love and compatibility differ. Ethan's smile froze. Holding instant milk tea, watching snow outside, I said sincerely, Ethan, Happy New Year. Let's not meet again. Long silence. As I turned away, his voice cracked. Happy New Year, Chloe. But his year ahead would hold no happiness. After that, I never saw Ethan again. I worked steadily at the institute, bought a nice apartment, gradually achieving my dreams. At 30, I met a good man. After careful consideration, we married. The night before my wedding, a package arrived. Inside was an exquisite gift, including a small velvet box. A golden rabbit, identical to the knitted one I'd once given Ethan. Who sent this? My husband asked. I smiled. An old friend.